I'm so tired of being independent and strong. I'm stressed. My cat has I do not want to be an independent woman.
I'm at that age where I can admit I do want to listen to somebody. I don't want to do everything on my own. I don't want to be too independent. I don't want to be hyper independent, y'all.
In 2026, I am no longer part of the independent woman crew.
The life of the independent woman isn't as easy as they make it seem. Many will lie on screen and say it's great, but all along behind the scene, it's them grieving, wishing they had a man.
Sometimes it's hard being so fucking independent.
I finally came to the conclusion that I'm done being independent and I'm retiring.
Your hyper independence as a woman is getting in the way of you finding the partner of your dreams.
Fuck, man. I think about it sometimes and I'm like, my life would be so much easier if I just liked nice guys, right? If I liked guys who were honest, guys who were kind, generous, thoughtful man who's going to bring me flowers or something. I don't know. You know, I liked guys who just went out of their way and thought about me. The bare minimum. If I just liked guys who gave me the bare minimum, that would be fucking awesome. But I am a little bit more below than that. Right? I like liars. I do. I'm going to admit it. I like men who are assholes. Men who are going to treat me like shit. I do. I like men who are going to go out of their way to make me jealous. And then they come back and I'm like, babe, why'd you do that? I like to feel something because I'm a pretty happy person, pretty peaceful person on my own. So when I have a guy come in and fuck up my life and make me feel something, I'm like, I love this. I love this. This is so shitty and great. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Okay, I didn't ask for this life. I didn't choose this life. This life chose me. Okay, I didn't ask my dad to leave. He just fucking did.
Well, at least she realized she's the problem. She admitted that there are guys who are treating her right, and she's just not attracted to these kinds of guys. And her type are liars, players, and in her words, men who are gonna treat her like shit. Now that kind of self-awareness is rare, and I'll give her credit for that. A lot of people never admit their pattern. They blame the entire opposite gender instead of looking at their own attraction choices. But here's where it gets deeper. When someone openly says, "The men who treat me right don't excite me, but the toxic ones do," that's not a standards issue, that's a wiring issue. That usually points to unresolved emotional patterns. Sometimes it's trauma, sometimes it's chaos, feeling familiar, sometimes it's mistaking unpredictability for passion. Whatever the cause, the attraction is tied to instability. And that's dangerous, because a good man can't compete with drama. If drama is what triggers chemistry, stability will feel boring, consistency will feel dry, kindness will feel too nice. Meanwhile, manipulation will feel thrilling, hot and cold behavior will feel intense, disrespect will feel like something to win over.
Most days I'm very independent, whatever, don't need a man. And then I've been trying to open this for like 10 minutes. Oh my gosh, my hand hurts. And then I need a man with bigger muscles to come help. Oh my god, I really can't do this.
Anyone broken the curse of hyper independence? Because I have a fucking problem. I cannot for the life of me stop wanting to be alone. Like, I want a boyfriend so bad and I've been going on good dates, but I just get home every time and I'm like, I just love being single. And like, I don't love being single so I can like go out on the town and do all these crazy things. Like, I just love being fucking alone and no one bothering me. I don't know what to do, but I know I'm the problem and I need to stop being hyper independent, but I don't know how to break it.
In 2026, I am no longer part of the independent woman crew. I am no longer part of the crew that says, I don't need a man. I am off of the crew of, I can do it by myself. I'm done. Get me off of those committees because, baby, I need a man. I need my husband. I don't know what I was thinking and who brainwashed me. Because if I'm being honest, all of those things were a facade to protect myself from getting my feelings hurt or my heart broken. But in 2026, I'm ready. I'm going to try this thing out. For real this time.
As soon as life gets hard, this is how every strong, independent women start to sound like. She said she is no longer part of the crew that says she doesn't need a man. She's no longer part of the strong, independent crew. Now all of a sudden, the tone changes. The same independence that once sounded empowering starts to sound exhausting. The confidence that once said, "I don't need anyone," slowly turns into, "I wish I had someone," because the truth is, saying you don't need anyone is easy when everything in life is going smoothly. It's easy to preach independence when the bills are paid, the job is stable, the health is good, and the nights don't feel lonely. But life has a way of testing those beliefs, and we're all seeing these tests in real time. But I do admire her honesty. At least she can admit that a lot of that mindset was there to protect her feelings from getting hurt, and that is something that many women do under this movement.
I'm so sick of being told how strong I am because I'm not strong and I don't want to be strong.
I'm a strong, independent black woman and I don't need no man. I'm fucking done with it.
I'm not gonna lie, don't tell the feminists, but I would rather stay home and cook and clean. When I tell you I love to cook and clean, just don't tell the feminists. I love to do it, and I love to do it for a man. I do.
Just someone out here who's trying to find someone. I just sometimes feel like the love I so desperately want to give and to receive is not meant for me.
The only male attention that I've been getting these days is from the construction workers. God, they're the only men that are giving me a second glance. It's a hard life.
I don't want to be a strong, independent woman no more. No more. I don't want to be an independent woman no more. Okay? I'm tired.
I don't want to work. Okay? I don't want to be Miss Independent. I don't want to be a boss babe. I don't want to have a business. I don't want to have a career. I don't want a job. I want nothing.
I'm tired.
I'm struggling. This is for all of the single ladies that are struggling between staying strong, being independent, and then also just wanting it.
I'm 31 now, and I still don't have kids. I still don't have a family. I was focused on trying to get after the bag, and all this fell for the boss, I could do everything by myself, that hyper independent bullshit.
INDEP. So for all the men out there who are like, oh, women don't want to chase us anymore because they're all boss babe in their way through life and they're financially independent. Most of us are broke as fuck. Most women like myself are struggling financially in this economy. Half of my wage goes towards rent. And despite this, many women still don't want to find a man. Not because they're thriving. I'm certainly not thriving. I'm fucking flirting with financial ruin. But would rather be broke and alone than with you going 50-50, putting up with your bullshit and giving us the bare minimum. We are over it.
First, let me correct this. Men have never said women do not want to chase us anymore. That was never really a thing. Men aren't sitting around upset because women won't chase them. That narrative gets exaggerated. But I do agree with her on one thing. Most women today are struggling. They just put up a front and act like they're not, especially online. But behind that screen, a lot of women are stressed, overwhelmed, and barely keeping it together. This woman is a perfect example. She said she would rather be broke than go 50-50 with a man. And to me, that mindset sounds entitled. She believes a man should carry 100% of the financial weight, while she contributes little or nothing in return. The thing with some of these women is they raise their standards higher and higher, even when they can't meet those same standards themselves. They'll demand a man who earns 6 figures, owns property, physically fit, socially respected, the full package. But if you ask what they bring that matches that level, the answer gets vague. And when a man doesn't meet those expectations, he's labeled broke.
Where are all the good men in 2025? Because I've been in the dating scene for a bit now, and all the guys I have talked to, they either want to hook up, they don't want anything serious, or they're like in their hoe phase. And I don't know if it's just my area, Mississippi, or my age demographic, but people don't want to fall in love nowadays. It's just not a thing. Like, I want to fall in love like how they do in the books. I know people are like, that's unrealistic, but I've seen it. I've seen people fall in love. And I want that. I want that for me. So, yeah, that's my hot take. Where are all the good men? Because I can't find them. And I've been trying, and I cannot find them nowhere.
Okay, can we agree that there is a difference between being a self-sufficient woman and an independent woman? Because a self-sufficient woman, that means that she won't die if she is left alone and has to do things like pumping gas, changing a tire, things like that. But an independent woman, that means that if there's a man around, she still wants to do these things herself. I am not an independent woman. I am self-sufficient. I will not die if left alone. However, if there is a man around, I would prefer a man pump the gas, change the tire, change the oil, do all of the manly things so that I can be soft and feminine and do things like sucking. Stop!
I don't know what the manly thing is she's talking about, but anyone who owns a car, it is their responsibility to take care of it. A man pumping gas doesn't make him manly. He's just taking care of his adult duties, just like a woman would if she was pumping her own gas. It's like tying your shoes, paying a bill, or cooking food. It doesn't belong to one gender. She said she would rather have a man pump the gas or change the oil, because in her eyes, that's manly things. With her logic, this is like me saying I'm a self-sufficient man and I need a woman to cook and clean for me in order for me to feel masculine. Most people would say that sounds entitled, and they would be right. The thing is, with these women today, they reach a point where they can't tolerate it anymore. They can't do the labor alone anymore, and now they're searching for men, not always because they suddenly value partnership in a healthy way, but because the weight of independence finally hits.
Women need to wake up and realize that their man is not the exception.
And here we go.
I don't care how good you think your boyfriend is, how good you think your fiance is, how good you think your husband is. He is not a good guy. There is no such thing as a good guy.
A person really shouldn't generalize people like that.
Ask your man right now, are you a good guy? He's gonna laugh. He's gonna laugh because he knows that he's not good.
What exactly makes some of these women experts on the entire male population?
Every man has a devil inside his brain and inside his head. And it's only a matter of time before that gets activated a little too aggressively, and he fucks up.
Oh yeah, saying that makes it so believable.
I know this is a really depressing mentality to have, but it's also a realistic mentality, and if it doesn't happen, great. But the odds are not in our favor. Okay, we are not men, therefore we cannot think like men. We are not inside their brain. We do not know what goes on. We can imagine.
And even then, some women still have the absolute audacity to try to say that they know what goes on inside men's minds when they've just admitted that they have not the slightest clue.
But I think a lot of women are seeking a woman in a male body. They want a man to think exactly like we do, and that's not possible. Okay, you have to think rationally when you're dating and when you're in a relationship that this is a man with a devil inside of them.
A couple things. Firstly, ladies, if you want to be taken actually seriously when you speak, don't go off on rants like this insinuating that there's a little devil living inside men. And secondly, remember, people like this actually convince other people how to vote.
Do not talk to a girl.
Don't worry, most men aren't. It's just quite frankly not worth it. He approaches you wrong, you call the police. He looks at you for half a second and he was staring at you for 16 hours. You say you don't like something, so he doesn't do that thing for you, and then you get mad that he didn't do that thing for you. You play all these tests and games to the point he doesn't even know who you genuinely are. Because your whole personality is based on some video you saw last week. Your standards and expectations of the relationship, again, based on what you see on social media.
Can the fellas come to the front for a second, please? And I'm talking the grown ones, please, the ones that want to be a husband. Even if you're already a husband, this would definitely include you. I genuinely want to know, what do y'all expect a woman to bring to the table for you to feel content and you've got everything you need? That's all I want to know.
Probably not finding love after divorce because you have a different purpose now. You did the love thing. You did the marriage thing. Been there, done that. Now you have something to contribute to humanity. You have a legacy to build and leave behind. You have a skill set and you have wisdom that can only be afforded to someone at this stage of your life. There's no shortcuts. And here you are with these gifts and these talents. It's time for you to do something with those. This era of your life is not for romantic love. That's not the focus. That's not the pursuit. It's for you to create something with meaning, something with significance, something that impacts others. Because if we're not building that, what are we doing with our lives? Chasing a man? Waiting for a man? Without a man, you have the freedom. Start a movement. Build an army. Be so fired up about this thing that only you have the ability to create and offer. The thing that lights you up and makes you jump out of bed every morning in a way that he never did.
No, a lot of women aren't finding love after divorce because they already left the man they were supposed to be with. This message is just cope. The reality is, when these women go out there, they realize their situation wasn't that bad. And you ever notice that all these women keep talking about men, even though they're supposed to be happy after divorce, discovering themselves? That contradiction is what stands out. If someone is truly healed, fulfilled, and thriving after divorce, you don't usually see constant conversations centered around what men are doing, what men aren't doing. Now, to be fair, not every divorce is a mistake. Some relationships genuinely are unhealthy or unsalvageable, but a lot of divorces today aren't like that. Many of these women leave because their emotions gave them the quo. Sometimes, the hardest realization is this: the man you left wasn't perfect, but he may have been the most aligned partner you were going to realistically find at that stage of your life. Once that door closes, it doesn't always reopen. And what these divorce women are getting out there is really their reward for destroying their marriages.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's hard being so fucking independent. I'm just tired all the time.
Hey, y'all women, speak for yourselves when y'all say y'all don't need. Because, baby, I need a man. I don't want to be independent. I don't want to do everything on my own. What's up, Papa?
Growing up with a single, strong, independent mother, I heard a lot growing up, you don't need a man. Never rely on a man, okay? And I think that there's some value in that, but I also think that that is so destructive, and you will truly never hear me say that I don't need a man, okay? Because I think that women do need men, okay? When I think about the 40-hour Monday through Friday work week, that system was not designed for us women. And I understand that we have a society that needs productivity all the time. And so we can't stop based on women's cycles. Watching my mom grow up single and without any help, she couldn't stop working. But she would have benefited so much from a man in the house giving her breaks and alleviating her from the hustle and the grind that is even harder when we are on our cycles. And I'm not just saying that to complain, like truly bleeding this much and having serious pain in our bodies because we are on our menstrual cycle is such a lose-lose when it comes to work, because us women feel terrible. I feel horrible right now. And I'm unpleasant to be around. I'm not as productive. I'm not as efficient. Like, it's a lose-lose all around because people don't want to be around me and I don't want to be around people, and I'm not even getting things done. And I just say all that to say, one, I'm just complaining, but two, this idea that women don't need men, it's not true. We do need men, and that doesn't make us weaker at all. It's just wise to admit that we can be interdependent, and God made woman and man purposely to have different strengths. There are things that men need from us women. So anyways, that's why I'm not a feminist.
I do like the fact that she says women do need men. That kind of honesty is something you don't hear very often anymore, especially when for so long the message has been about proving the opposite. Admitting that men and women need each other is at least a step toward a more realistic conversation about relationships and how life actually works. But I've also heard this before multiple times, where women, including this woman, say that it's harder for women to work because of their cycles. And while there may be some truth to the fact that women experience physical and hormonal changes throughout the month, the reality is that life responsibilities don't pause for anyone. Men also deal with stress, physical exhaustion, long work hours and pressure, but society has always expected men to keep going regardless. Women weren't thinking about cycles back then. They wanted equality. They wanted to be the same as men, and that is what they got. Now, using the cycle as an excuse becomes a contradiction to the very argument that was made for years. For a long time, the message was about proving that men and women could do the exact same things under the exact same conditions. The push was for equal treatment in the workplace, equal expectations, and equal responsibilities. The argument was that women were just as capable as men in every environment, including demanding careers and high-pressure work settings.
So this morning I woke up, we're going through a snowstorm, and I had a flat tire on my truck. So I went to the store to get some air. Normally I'll smile and flirt, get a man to help me out because I'm just a girl, right? But this morning, it was snowing really, really bad. I had on a do-rag, some leggings, and some real old Uggs. And I wanted to ask, but I thought about it, and I was like, if I was a man and I walked up to me with a flat booty and some leggings in the middle of a snowstorm, I would cuss my flat booty ass out. So I had to do it on my own.
Guys, I want to be a stay-at-home wife and a stay-at-home mom. That doesn't work. I said it. And I know it's like a reality for people, and I don't even know if it's a reality for me, but like in my heart of hearts, that is what I want to do. Truly.
I think we should start holding men to the same standards we hold women to.
Oh, this should be fun. What first?
Your eyebrows are bushy? Okay, pluck them.
Slight problem with that. Most guys don't do stuff for women's approval, so this isn't starting out very well.
You're growing body hair? Shave it.
I wonder if they'd find men desperate enough for women's approval to actually do that.
He's wearing sweatpants in public? That's not masculine. He should be wearing overalls.
Overalls? Really disturbing what some women consider to be masculine.
If women have to look pretty, then men should have to look handsome.
Yeah, the ironic part is that a lot of men already do that, and they honestly don't have to try that hard. So I wonder what point they're trying to make here.
And that's called feminism.
Well, feminism was, after all, initially just about equality. However, some individuals have twisted it into something that's almost unrecognizable. But if you really want to talk about equality, why don't some women start being held to the same standards that we hold men? Oh, wait, I don't think a lot of them could handle that.
I don't think many of these women who make videos like this think things through. She said, we should hold men to the same standard we hold women to. But when you really examine that statement, it raises a lot of questions. She believes men should shave their eyebrows and do other things like that. What she's failing to understand is that men don't usually do things for women's approval the same way women often do things for men's attention. A lot of the beauty standards that exist for women are heavily tied to attracting attention, validation, or approval from others. That's why you see so much focus on makeup, hair, nails, fashion, and appearance in general. For many women, those things become part of how they present themselves socially and how they feel they're perceived by others. But for most men, the mindset is very different. Men generally don't wake up thinking about how to adjust their appearance to gain approval from women in the same way. Most men care more about practicality, comfort, and function. If a man goes to the gym, it's often about strength, discipline, or competition with himself or other men, not necessarily about impressing women.
Oh my god, it is so cold. I just shoveled part of my driveway so I could leave. Oh my god, my fingers I think are gonna fall off. Yep, because I wasn't prepared to shovel. I didn't wear gloves and I didn't wear a hat. in the middle of cold, and my lungs hurt because it's so cold out. It's so cold, I'm gonna cry. And it's Lazy Girl Sunday, so there ain't no makeup. My hair is not done. Hell, I didn't even shower. I don't even care. I'm going to pick up my kids so we can decorate for Christmas. I love Iowa so much.
A hill that I will die on is that men don't want a good woman. They want a woman that makes them feel good. And you're going to say, what are you talking about? Men don't actually want a good woman on paper. They don't want you to make good money. They don't want you to be educated. They don't want you to have great credit. They don't want you to have a good body. They don't want you to cook. They don't want you to clean. They don't want any of that. They don't want a quote unquote good woman, because then it forces them to rise to the occasion because you already have all of those things. So now he feels pressure. Now he feels unworthy. Now he feels insecure, and he also knows that a good woman is going to leave him. And so every day he sits there and he has a fear that another man is going to come and steal you from him. So then he goes and he acts weird to you and he cheats on you. When I say that men want a woman that makes them feel good, they want a woman who they feel superior over. They want a woman who they make more money than. They want a woman who they feel like they're doing better than. They want a woman that they're like, well, who's going to want this bitch? Who's going to want this fat, ugly, with stretch marks with kids? No one's going to want you. But that's why they want you.
She's projecting. She says that men don't want a good woman or a woman that makes good money or educated, whatever that means. But all that is false. She's most likely talking about some experiences she's had with some men, but majority of men do not care nor worry about stuff like that. What sounds like is happening here is projection. Instead of saying, the men I chose didn't value these things, it turns into, men don't value these things. That's a big jump. Personal experience doesn't automatically equal universal truth. There absolutely are some men who feel insecure about a woman earning more or being highly educated. That exists, but it's not most men. A lot of men simply don't prioritize those traits the way women are told they should. It's not rejection, it's different wiring. Sometimes when a woman says men don't want a successful woman, what she might really mean is, the men I'm attracted to don't prioritize my success the way I do. That's different.
If you find yourself in your 20s and you're worried, what happens if I'm single and I never find my person, and that's your worst case scenario, I'm here to show you what your worst case scenario looks like. 39 and about to be 40, and I'm single. I've never married, never been engaged. I used to think this was my worst case scenario, and now it's not. I live in my beautifully decorated apartment. I have unlimited cats. I can adopt as many cats as I want. I can get 6 more of these cats and I don't have to ask anyone. I could also adopt as many chihuahuas as I would like. I have girl dinner almost every single night of the week, except for today. For example, my friends randomly asked, do you want to go out to happy hour? And I said, yeah. I don't have to check with anyone. I don't have to plan with anyone and think, gosh, can I go to happy hour? Like, what are you going to do? Is that okay? Also, if a friend asks me to go on a trip, I just go. I don't have to ask anyone. Is that okay? Do we have the budget for this? It's my budget. It's my life. I can do whatever I want. This year, I decided to go to Paris for Thanksgiving because I don't really like Thanksgiving food. If I had a partner, I could do that. And then I decided to go to Morocco for New Year's because I didn't have a New Year's kiss. So why not spend it in the Sahara Desert? I'm planning my Euro summer right now and 2 other trips with my friends. If I had a partner, I couldn't do all this because I'd have to compromise and ask that person, and we probably would share finances, and you can't just go and do all of that. I think the big thing though is that I always thought that I would be really lonely if I didn't find somebody. And it's actually the opposite. I feel like instead of putting all of my energy into a man or a relationship, I put it into building my friendships, building my network. And now I have such a sturdy network of people. I have to go have surgery soon for something. And I have more people who are willing to take care of me and step in and be there for me than I did when I was in a serious relationship where I lived with a person. So if you're in your 20s and you're oh my gosh, what if I don't find my person? Your life is going to be fantastic.
It's these kinds of women who drag other women into their misery. 39, never married, and have a lot of cats. She's showcasing what her life looks like on camera to these women, but no one knows what happens behind the scenes. She's trying to tell women their worst-case scenario is them living in a house by themselves with cats, as if that's empowerment, as if that's the ultimate flex. Now, to be fair, there's nothing wrong with being single at 39. The issue is when someone frames their situation as proof that this is better than partnership, while constantly centering men in the conversation. If you're truly fulfilled, you don't need to convince others that your worst-case scenario is actually a dream life. Fulfillment speaks quietly. It doesn't campaign. What tends to happen is this. Instead of saying, "This is my path and it works for me," it turns into, "This should be your path too." And that's where influence becomes pressure. Misery loves company. Not because someone consciously wants others to suffer, but because shared choices validate personal decisions. If more women adopt the same mindset, it reinforces that the outcome wasn't a loss. It was empowerment. The strong, independent woman mantra is slowly dying down. Strong in their prime, but depend on a man when things gets tough later in life. That's the pattern we're seeing today.
So there's a common misconception that strong, independent women love being independent. Now, as far as me, don't like it. Many of us and most of us are independent out of necessity. We had no other choice. Who else was going to do it? Who else was going to take care of the house and the home and the kids? So we had to step up and we had to take care of it. But as far as me, I'm tired. I'm done with the strong, independent life if I could help it. If I had my choice, I'd love to be taken care of. I'd love to be the woman that just stays home and cooks and cleans and takes care of her man. Now, the chances are slim that that would ever actually happen at my age and at this day and time. But I love fantasizing about it. Yeah, I would love to know what it's like to have that soft life. So, anybody willing to give it to me?
Well, she is correct. The chances of her finding a man to take care of her at her age is really slim. And I hear this a lot. Many women keep saying women are independent because they have to be. But so what? They're acting as if men haven't had to live that same reality for generations. Men have always had to be independent because they had no other choice. From a young age, most men are taught that nobody is coming to rescue them. That is a privilege only women have. Men don't. So when women say women are independent because they have to be, it's not really a new concept. That's the basic reality of adulthood for most people. The reality is, many of these women just want to put their weight on the man. But the question is, who's going to help the man carry all that pressure? Because when people talk about relationships, the expectations placed on men are often enormous. A man is expected to provide, solve problems, stay emotionally strong, and keep everything stable even when life gets difficult. But very few people stop to ask who supports him when the pressure starts piling up.
I am so tired of being a strong, independent woman girl boss. I want to pretend like I don't know how to put air in my tires, pretend like I don't know that there's no such thing as premium air, and I never want to touch another doorknob. I want to be in my soft girl era.
Another thing that I think is absolutely absurd is how you guys expect us to be these nurturers and these soft women living in our femininity when you guys are not allowing us to do that. It's like we cannot be in our masculine and feminine. Like you guys are telling us we're masculine when that's all we're afforded to be. We can't be anything but masculine. A lot of men are like, "Oh, you're spicy, you're aggressive." I have no choice but to be. I'm the man. I'm the man at this point. Like, what? Make it make sense.
Yes, a lot of women are masculine, and as you can hear from this woman, she's blaming it on the fact that her and other women have had to do everything on their own. And the reality is, many women wouldn't be in this position if they didn't follow certain ideas that convinced them that needing anyone was a weakness. For years, the message has been pushed that the ultimate goal was complete independence, that relying on a man meant you were somehow less capable or less successful. So a lot of women built their entire mindset around proving they didn't need partnership. They focused on doing everything themselves, solving every problem alone, and showing the world that they could operate without anyone beside them. The reality is, women have put themselves in these positions, not men. A lot of the time, the narrative shifts toward blaming circumstances, society, or men in general. But when you really look at it, many of these outcomes come from the choices people make and the ideas they choose to follow.